Hey, well, welcome to 2025. So, my team received lots of feedback, which is good. So, kind of pointed out some areas where maybe we weren't serving you as well as we could. So we dug in, did some research, and tried to find areas where we could break things down. The one thing is to be real. So I'm just kind of a normal guy, pretty much a wonderful life, but I'm not one of those that are going to wave my arms around and yell and scream. It's just not my personal style. I hope you're okay with that, and that we can get to know each other, and that I can give you some of the information that I have learned over time, some of the research that I've done, and hopefully help you coming up. So, one of the items was that as we as men move through life, there's a lot of things that change. So we've broken this down into 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. We've also kind of did the research. There are three critical areas that keep coming up, and that is number one, finances, number two, physical health, and number three, mental health. So we're just going to stay on those items. We're not going to dig into other areas or go too deep. I am not a certified financial planner, but one of the things, if we suggest something, one of the frustrations that I found early on was people would give me all these great ideas, but then no way to actually implement it, no tools to try to develop it, and I was just I floundered. So we're not going to do that. We'll introduce some concept, and then if we do have some expertise, obviously we'll share those with you. But if we don't have the expertise, we have found some people that are experts, that are certified, that we kind of did some research on, and we said, hey, these guys are okay. There's a lot of things out there that are questionable for me personally, and I'm not being critical of any person, because I know how much work this takes to bring to the public. So with that said, we're just going to dive in, and I'll kind of explain the thinking behind breaking each one of these age groups down. So what we found for men in their 40s was that finance made up 60% of their focus. Physical health made up about 35% of their focus. And mental health was maybe 15%. So in other words, we tried, it's not zero or like mental health, but people aren't really, they're engaged in work, kids, activities, building, doing things. And so mental health doesn't pick up until later on in years. So during this time, we've got your career is probably coming into full swing. One thing that I'd like to suggest, and this is from my own personal experience, is avoid junk. And I can say that in all humility. I have bought so many things that I didn't use or shouldn't have wasted the money on. So just a word, be smart about how you're spending your money, especially in your 40s. You'll be glad as time passes. I went out, I have a building, pole barn. I went out there and I looked at that and I'm like, goodness sakes alive, where did all this stuff come from? And I think of how much it costs and what I could have done with the money, invested it. So just kind of a suggestion, as you're going through, maybe double think those things. And I know that in your 40s, at least for me, I was in a position where I could afford more of the toys, nicer cars, nicer everything. But it really, once you're past that initial shiny object, it wears off quickly. So just my experience. Also, if you're in your 40s, and you had kids early on, they're probably either in school or leaving or maybe even gone. So you're coming into that empty nest syndrome. One of the things we're going to try to do is help you look forward, okay? So this is where I am right now, but what's next? Where am I going next? And what do I need to prepare for in that next stage of my life? Just kind of be thinking forward and define what the next stage looks like. So for me, I have 3 sons, and each one of them are through school, whatever education they decided they wanted to work through, and they are moving on with their careers. One of them, 2 of them are very far away. And so what that next stage looks like for me, how often do I get to see them? And again, I don't know about your relationship with your family, your children, but things shift when your kids aren't at home. My wife and I have a lot of extra time to do some things, but we also get to travel to see our grandkids and our kids. What does the 50s look like for you? So that's a good segue. So for the 50s, finances actually drops a little bit in importance, physical health a little bit, and mental health actually boosts up just a little. So when you're in your 50s, you want to keep your mind sharp. That's where reading books, staying involved, kids, activities, maybe grandkids even, staying involved. Also, this is another part of my career at least where I made a good income and I didn't have a lot of expenses. So, suggestion, make hay while the sun shines. Put that money away rather than spending it on things that you probably wish you wouldn't. The other thing is your housing. For me, when all my kids left, I didn't need a 4-bedroom house with a bunch of bathrooms, but I did need more area for people to come and do activities. So even though the type of house changed, we actually moved into another area, and our house was a foreclosure that my wife and I decided, hey, we want to turn this into a place where our families can come and just we can enjoy each other together. So maybe that means downsizing your house, maybe it means upsizing, maybe it just means going sideways, maybe you need more recreational area and less bedrooms. So again, kind of look forward. Where are you headed? Where are you going? And we do have some tools and things to kind of help you with vision and what that might look like. All right, let's move into the 60s. So in 60s, we see a kind of a flip. Our research showed that all of a sudden people start paying more and more attention to their physical health. We actually found that about 50% of their focus went to physical health. Not that you are shifting in a major way, but as we get older, we notice more things. We are aware of our physical health. And so maybe I remember myself, I actually went on blood pressure medicine. So for the first time, and I'm like, oh my goodness, those are the kind of things that you need to pay attention to for your physical health so that you can enjoy the life that you've kind of looked forward and prepared. Financial shift drops a little bit to about 30% of the focus, and mental is about 20%. Again, your mind is still sharp. Probably you're still working till you're 65 or so. Plans were to work until I was about 70. I kind of changed those plans, and when I was 65, I actually started my own business. Started doing some different things that I wanted. So again, all of those things, keep your mind sharp, keep your body, take care of it. It's the only body you got. I know that's kind of obvious, but when you think about things you do and the way you treat your body and the mental things that you need to do to keep yourself active, each one of these things kind of feeds into the next. In your 60s, we're probably spending some time thinking about, am I ready to retire? Can I retire? What does retirement look like? And so we've got the things in the 60s. We'll focus around those 3 items on what people in their 60s would be interested in. Third area is your 70s. So again, your physical health kind of bumps up again. Are you walking? Can you get around? Mobility issues. And I'm not saying that all of these things just happen, but for a lot of us, health and physical things become more important as we move into our 70s. Mental actually moved up a notch, and it showed as 30% because they're wanting to stay sharp. They're wanting their minds to stay clear. They say that you can't remember things as well. Well, again, all the way along, we will provide you with some tools and some things that we've found that really work to help in those areas. And so we'll be providing those as we go forward. In your 80s, the goes to physical, bumps up again to about 60% is what our research showed. Mental goes up to 25%, and finances are at about 15%. Sorry, on the 60s, finances were about 15% as well. And what we found in the 70s and 80s is you're pretty much set. You're not going to make a huge change. I know that your buying power goes down, but your income probably won't go up unless you thought of ways to be able to supplement that. There's some advantages and some disadvantages. You can only make so much before you start getting less Social Security or whatever pension or opportunity that you've prepared. The family, again, it kind of shifts from you taking care of your family to your family maybe taking care of you. So again, we'll focus on each one of those areas. We broke those down based on your input and feedback. And so we're looking forward to a great year. We're going to break things down. We've done all kinds of research. Topics that are important to you, ways that you can use, tools that are available. We've even broke it down to styles and colors and things that guys appeal to guys, that make sense to them. All the way along, trying to keep it as simple as possible. So our intent here is to take each one of those areas that we spoke about, the finance, the physical, and the mental health, for 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Kind of comes out conveniently to Monday is 40s and Friday would be 80s. So you kind of know what to expect. Again, systematic things we got a lot of feedback that systematic things are important to you. So you kind of know, okay, well, I'm going to be looking for a tip or a point or some help or what have they got for me this week. We're going to consistently produce that schedule throughout the rest of the year. The team is really working hard for you guys, and I'm hoping that it will pay off and reap benefits for you. That's why we're doing this, to share some of our experience, some of our thoughts, and hopefully yield benefits that will help you and also give you the tools to actually do what we're suggesting might help. Again, if we don't resonate with you, I know for me, there are certain people that just don't resonate with me. And so I don't listen to them. And I want to make sure that I say that right up front. I know that I won't resonate with everyone. And the points that I've got, you may not agree with. Some of them I'm hoping to bring value, but if you're interested in those things and you're not enjoying the content that we put together, please find someone that you do resonate. There's plenty of people out there. There's somebody for everyone. So all of us are in this together. We're trying to do our part to help you kind of navigate life as men. The Ultimate Man Day book that was written kind of tries to keep things simple. This format of, hey, if you're in your 40s, these are things you should pay attention to. Hey, if you're in your 70s, hey, these are things that we found you probably need to take a look at, and here's some tools. So the tools is another important part that I want to make sure I emphasize here. And that is, we've tried to put together guide worksheets, action plans. So if we're suggesting something, we are also going to give you the tools to be able to do it. So with that, we hope we can create a community where we're trying to help each other, get some information we can actually use and implement, not just some random concept, but actually a valuable idea, a worksheet maybe that we can go through and really challenge ourselves to answer questions about our vision, where we want to be, our finances, some of our mental health, some of our physical health. How can I do that? Am I spending my money in the right way? Is there a way I could do it better? Each one of those areas, finance, physical, and mental. So again, we're looking forward to a great year. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys. Appreciate the feedback. We're hoping you find this valuable. If you don't and we're missing something, hey, just let us know. We may or may not be able to accommodate that, but we do appreciate you giving us the feedback, subscribing, liking, doing the notifies, all of those kind of things for video. Doing these videos takes a significant amount of preparation, planning. So if you find them valuable, let us know. If you don't, let us know what you'd like to see. Again, we're looking forward to a great 2025. All you guys out there, we're hoping you live the ultimate man day.